creativity is a discipline. It's not about waiting for a lightning bolt of inspiration. It's about coming in and grinding it out day in, day out at every turn.
All right, here we are, relaxed. That was a clip from the new reality show, The Pitch, from last night, which takes viewers into the crazy world of advertising and what ad men, ad women have to go through to get that client and get that all-important deal. For our Hot Sauce today, we're joined by one of Buffalo's premier ad men. We are with Bob Travers of Travers Collins and Company, and you're here to tell us exactly, actually, first, look at that, we're draping. We planned this from, you know, the show. He was good enough to go along with it. Now, in Mad Men, do you think that, you've watched it, is it a realistic setting?
Well, the environment's very realistic. I don't know if the stories are very realistic. I'll tell you what's realistic, though, is there was a lot of smoking and a lot of drinking back then.
There were in real life in the advertising world?
Yeah.
At what point did that cut out?
I would say in the 80s, starting in the 80s, but drinking during lunch, drinking after work, smoking in meetings. I mean, who would have thought that today?
Is it because it's such a high-pressure job?
Well, it is high pressure. Certainly when you're doing a pitch, it's high pressure. But I just think it was the times.
You watched The Pitch? You
Yes,
said
I
that
did.
was more realistic.
Yeah, I think it's a lot more realistic.
What do you think of it? I mean, is that really what happens?
I think yes, it is. It's very accurate. What The Pitch didn't show, and I saw the show last night, and I saw the sneak preview online, what it didn't show is all the work that went into doing the pitch, the account planning, the strategy. The show is starting with the creative brief and coming up with a solution.
So they're picking all the great parts about it. If somebody's entering the advertising world now, is it as glamorous as it's portrayed to be?
No, it's not glamorous.
That's the truth.
Yeah. There's a lot of, you know, when you're pitching a big piece of business, there's a lot of pressure. That pressure translates to anxiety. There's fear. You don't want to fail. I mean, this is what you do for a living. You do not want to fail. But there's nothing like the exuberance of winning an account. Nothing like it.
How long have you been doing advertising?
Over 30 years.
Wow. You've seen the business change over the years. What do you think? Did you ever envision that it would become this popular and being not only a show, but a reality show?
No, I never did. I never did.
Why do you think it has become that important and just popular?
Because it has such an influence on people's lives. It really does. It influences what brands you buy. It influences what clothes you wear. It influences behavior.
Now, you're very successful, so tell us, what do you think is the key to becoming successful in the advertising business? Because a lot of young people are trying to still get into that.
Hiring smart people.
Okay, what about the
Smarter
people
than you.
How can you tell that these are smart people? What do you look for when you're hiring somebody?
Ideas, how they articulate who they are, what they want to do, their backgrounds, their interests.
Do you ever, when somebody comes for an interview, at any point say, okay, give them a scenario and say, what would you do? How would you pitch this, or what kind of ideas do you have about that?
I don't do it from an idea standpoint, but I try to put them on the spot to see how they would react. And, you know, in our business, it's really about rejection.
Yeah.
You know, if you're batting
it's like dating.
Exactly. If you're batting 300, you're doing pretty good. So people got to have the temperament to take rejection.
Well, you and your company have a very good swing then in terms of your batting average.
Thank
Bob
you.
Travers, thank you very much from Travers and Collins and Company. Thanks for joining us. Come back. Thanks for draping with us this morning.
Okay, thank you very much.
With that, we're going to toss it into our web producer, Emily Lenahan.